welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna do a quick video, hopefully, just a quick tutorial on how I install my crochet hair. And this is gonna be for beginners, and I say beginners because I feel like even though I've been wearing crochets for a couple months, or not even a couple more months, over a year or so, and I have been installing it in by myself, there are parts of it that I still struggle with, so I feel like this is what I've been doing since the beginning of time, and I have just perfected it. Nothing has really changed. I just do it better because I've done it with practice. So not only am I going to show you how to actually install the crochet, I'll show you what type of hair I use, and I also will show you how I shape my hair once it's all installed. So before we get started, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I will respond back to all comments, and like this video if you want to see more tutorials. Rather, if you're not already a part of the Candy family. I don't know, does that sound right, Candy family? You know how people have different names. I want to create a name, I just don't know what name to create it. Candy Bunch, Candy Cane, Candy... I don't know. If you can think of a name, let me know. But if you're interested in seeing how I achieve the final look, please stay tuned. Alright, so first, let me show you the type of hair I'm using. This is going to be the Jamaican Bounce. This is the hair I always use. I love this. And this is the 1B. I switch between 1B, 1, and like a 99J, which is like a red color. If I'm just feeling like I want to be a little different. But I use this crochet pattern. I've been using it for over a year because I feel like over time it looks more natural. These single individual curls start to coil together and look more natural. And I think the longer you have it in your hair, the more natural it looks. And it's very easy to maintain. I put it in my bonnet when I go to sleep. I take the bonnet off, I shake, and I go. And in time, obviously, there's going to be tangles, but the tangling is not a lot, and you can just snip as you go. When I tell you that when I have this hair in my crochet in, and I wear it for 2-3 months, and it's about, usually I push it out 2 months, not 3. 3 is a little extreme, but 2 months is the longest I've done it. But when I'm like on the week of where I'm ready to take it out, like it's itching, it looks crazy, edge control, can't save it any longer, I'm still getting compliments. I might get more compliments after it's been in my hair like months. More than I get it when I first do it. So yeah, I stand by this hair. Also, you can get in water with this hair and it bounces back like it's nothing. We'll talk about that in another video. Like if you want me to do a full review on this hair, I can, but there's plenty of reviews on YouTube about it already. That's where I found it, was on YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, I use this hair. Something else you're gonna need is actually a crochet needle, hook, needle, whatever you wanna call it. You can get it at your local beauty supply store for $1, $1.50. I'm going to get a clip. You normally don't need a clip. I mean, it just depends on how much you plan on installing. A clip and some scissors for when I decide to go and shape it. Now for me, I use between 3.5 and 4 packs of hair. And this hair, you can find it online at sansbeauty.com for $5.99. My local beauty supply store sells it for like $7.99, so I always order online, and I order a lot just because I always use this hair. Now for the braid pattern, I'm going to insert a picture of how the braid pattern should be. When I talk about it being a style, this video being for beginners, it's because I'm not great at braiding. Like I can braid, but I don't feel like I braid tight enough, and it may be my nails may be the reason for it, or I just don't have a tight grip. So I mean, I can braid my own hair, but I choose not to, just because I want it to last longer. I know they have videos on braidless crochets. I don't really trust all that, but whatever. I've seen people do it. It's come out. It looks great. So the braid pattern is pretty much like 10 braids in the front and 5 braids in the back. Like I said, I'll insert a picture. This is not necessarily about the braid pattern. This is just about the crochet technique, how to crochet into the hair. So as you can see, I've already crocheted majority of it in, and I'll just do a spin so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. I've already crocheted most of it in. But I still have this section, and this is the beauty of this hair. Like I have done this plenty of times where I just have ran out of time and I did not feel like crocheting all this because it's already full. Like look how full it is. And I just kept it rolling. The only downfall about that is if it's windy, of course it's gonna blow back. Or if you want to pull it up in a ponytail, which I do sometimes, because when you pull up in a ponytail, It's really cute. It'll fall, you know, da da da, whatever. So it's better to have these crocheted in. So because I knew I was going to make a video, I didn't crochet it in, and I was doing this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I said I would come back later and fill it in. So yeah, I'm going to use my clip to just clip this out of the way, or I can just flip it on this side, whichever I feel like it's easier. For the purposes of the video, I'm going to use this clip. So I'm just going to put this clip here, and I'm going to scoop in. So when you take the hair out the pack, it comes in these little coily bundles, I guess. And in the back, I separate this 2 or 3 times depending on how thick the coils are, or the clumps. I don't know what you would call this, but sometimes they're thinner, they're thicker and thinner. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Like this one I could probably separate 3 times. This one I would probably only separate twice. Then in the front, I separate it 4 or 5 times. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So because I've already did the back, I'm good. The back is like all the way full. I'm just going to focus on this section here. And I want to make sure I fill everything in before I go and shape it, because once I shape it, I can go back in and fill in spaces, but I don't want it to be where I have to like recut a section I've already cut. So here is it already separated, but I'm going to show you how I separate one. So here's the full piece, and what I'm going to do is where it meets in this little middle section here. As you can see, this section here, I kind of just spread it out a little bit just so it can break apart naturally. And wherever it breaks apart, like as I see it start breaking, I put my finger there and I pull. I grab some hair. Maybe I need to bring it back. There we go. I grabbed some, so I grabbed a little bit and I pull straight out. Straight out like this. From there, I grab in the middle section where I'm at again, and I just use my finger and I coil all the way down. Like I run my finger straight down but I coil it as I go because I want the curl to reform. No, the curl is not going to be as tight as it was before, but it still will be a curl and it'll still blend in with the hair. So I'm running my fingers all the way down, and then whatever is remaining, like the little flyaways, I don't know what you would, the stragglies, I pull out because there's no reason to keep it. So yeah, now that it's coiled like that, this little bottom piece, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to eventually end up cutting when I shape my hair. So here we go. I have my piece, and now it's time to actually begin the crochet process. All right. So what you're going to do is, and I know some people pick a direction to where they crochet. Either they put their needle in and hook it, or they put their needle, sorry, shouldn't have did that quick. If your needle ever gets stuck, just close the latch and pull it through and it'll be fine. But I know that some people either crochet up or they crochet down. I don't worry about crocheting up or down until I get to where my part is, because honestly all of this doesn't matter. And because it's curly hair, it's gonna be big regardless. I know crocheting up or crocheting down may cause the way the hair lays, but with it being big hair, it doesn't matter. So anyways, so I found my area that I'm gonna crochet, and this is here it's gonna be. And for me, it's just easier to crochet up at this point. So I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to hook it in. You're going to put it underneath your braid. Some people go through the braid, but at this point, my braid is too tiny and I feel like it's easier to take out the braids or the crochet when you go through the braid, or underneath the braid, sorry. So I'm going to go underneath the braid and I'm going to do that and push through all the way until when this little flap, this little hook, I don't know if you can see that, this little hook, hopefully you can see it. I'm going to make sure that that's all the way through. Then I'm going to take my hair and there's like a little loop from where it meets. I'm going to take this loop. Just make sure your loop is pretty like smooth. It's easier to loop it versus it being wide. So anyways, so yeah, I'm going to hook the loop around the crochet hook like this, and then I'm going to close the latch like that, and I'm going to pull through. You should be able to easily pull through and glide the hair back and forth through the hook. Once you have done that, you just want to unhook the crochet and find your loop. This is my loop here. And you will still want to be able to glide like this. So I'm good. Now I'm going to make a knot. So I'm going to put the long piece, the long hanging end, through the loop, pull through, and I'm going to just re-loop it again. Same thing. Just going to re-loop it again. And then you want to make sure that there is no extra, none of the like side, none of the other hair stuck in there. And then you're just going to pull. As you pull, it'll create a knot. And that's it. So then it's in here. And now I just re-twirl. And then let me move back so you can see that. Also, shout out to Design by Deborah. If you're looking for a wedding planner, event planner, please go check them out. My friend Lance owns the company and he is amazing. He does travel and he's worked with, you know, us everyday people, and he's also worked with some celebrities. He is awesome and does a fantastic job. I've been honored to be able to know him for years and work alongside with him. So he is definitely like blown up. So yeah, check him out. I'll leave his website down below for anybody that's getting married or planning an event. So here I am again, and this is a piece that I've already separated, and I am just swirling it. And look at that curl. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. So, and when you do these crochets, you don't have to do right beside each other. Like I said, your hair is going to cover it up. The objective is to fill it into where you don't see the braids individually. And let me just see if I can show you what I mean. So like on this side, when I lift my hair up, you can't see how the braids are open like this. I am going to go through and I do it at the very end, and I'll put the very small pieces on the very edge. But overall, this is already filled to my liking. So now I'm going to take that same piece, and I have created my loop here like this. And I don't like pre-looped hair. Don't feel like it looks good. I don't feel like it's easy. I just feel like it's a lot. But anyway, so here's the loop. Same thing. I'm not going to start directly beside it. I'm going to move over a little ways away. So now, same thing, I'm going to put the hook underneath my hair. And the hook has come all the way through. Then I'm going to take my loop and I'm going to hook it to the crochet. It's now hooked. And then I'm going to close that latch. Can you see it? I'm going to close that latch. And then I'm going to pull through. Once again, everything's flowing smoothly. I unhook the crochet and then I separate the loop. And just a testing out, just to show you. Now I'm going to take the end piece and I'm going to place it in the loop. And I'm going to do the same thing. Place it in the loop. And then I'm just going to pull. If your hair is not pulling into a knot, then something's wrong. And you can do one or two things. You can pull your hair back through the opposite direction, or you can just cut it out, like, and start over. Because you're not going to use all 4 packs. I'm not someone that likes to waste hair, and I feel like pulling it back out is not hard. So if you look, I have about a finger's amount of width or distance between 2. This is one here and this is one here. See that? So now I'm going to leave this one here and I'm going to move up here. I'm going to do one right here so it can fall in between my little gap. That's kind of how you fill it in. So I'll show you here. Here is the hair that I've been working with before that I've been pulling from. So I'm going to split this into two. Same thing. I'm going to like kind of separate this little middle section, and I'm going to break it apart where it naturally is splitting. This is hard to do on camera. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to break it apart where it's naturally splitting. And then I'm just going to pull. There we go. Then I am going to twirl. And you know by the sizes that you, like as you split them, based off the sizes, you know where to place them. Like for this piece, because it's so small, I would typically put it on the edge because it's tiny. And I think I might just go ahead and put it on the edge because it's a tiny piece. I don't want to use this tiny piece back here where it's going to be covered up. So I'm just swirling all the way down like that. And I'm going to show you again. So I'm putting my needle in, my crochet needle. Here's my loop, and I'm going to hook it on the loop, close the latch, pull through. I'm going to take the crochet out, separate my loop again. I don't do this every time. I'm just doing this for the camera purposes. I'm going to put my hair through twice, double loop, and then I'm going to pull. And I know some people are like, oh, it's probably going to pull out your edges because you're so close. Actually, I haven't had any problem with it pulling out my edges. And like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. This is how I've been maintaining my natural hair underneath and how I've been growing it, how I have been resisting heat. If you haven't seen my video about how I survived heat damage without big chopping, I'm going to link the video above, so you can just check that out. And here's the other piece that I had separated from that one clump. So I'm going to swirl, and then I'm going to do that. Once I do this will be my last one, and then I'll just go ahead and finish my crochet. I'll come back, and then I'll show you how I actually shape it, how I cut it. This is going to be interesting because I've never done this on camera, but we'll see. Once again, here we go. And you can kind of see my braid pattern. These are two braids here, and then they connect into one in the back. So every two, then back. So there's 10 of these in the front, 5 of these in the back, because the back does not honestly matter. The reason for this is so that if I want to part it whichever direction, I can, and it won't be like a straight gap. I don't know how to explain it. You'll see it. I'll show you eventually. You know how some people used to do the old school crochets and have like the straight back set it off braids, and then it'll just be gappy. This avoids all that gappiness. But anyways, all right. So I'm gonna put my loop in, and then I'm gonna hook the hair on the loop. I'm at the point where now I can crochet my hair in the car and not be in the passenger seat crocheting. I've done it in the car. I've done it in the on the airplane. Done it at the airport. I have no shame in my game. I got to get it done. And here we go. That's it. So now, usually it takes me about 2 hours to do this by myself once I've gotten it braided. 2 hours is the longest it's taken if I've been focused. If I've been focused, if I'm watching TV and stuff. If I'm focused, I can do this in an hour and a half. So now I'm just gonna move on to crocheting the rest of my hair, and I will be back to show you how I reshape it. Alright guys, I filled it in enough in my opinion. So now what I do, I know it's a lot of hair, but I will put it in a ponytail, kind of like pull it up to see where else I need to go in and fill the outskirts. I am not going to fill the outskirts in right this second because, actually, I think I will. I was going to say, usually I will fill it in when I am about to put it in a ponytail, just so I can know where it's going to fall, because when I put it in a ponytail, it's going to fall in front of my face and a lot of this is going to be hidden. But I do kind of like to have some of this out because when my edges start coming out, it looks more natural once I lay it down. And you'll see that in a future video. But I'm going to go in and fill this side because this is the side I wear my part on. And then you can get a closer look as to what I do, because I don't know if you can see it that well in the very first part of the video. So obviously doing the same thing I've done before. Let me get closer. And which one do I want to fill in specifically? I think it's this braid. So you can see how some are tinier than some braids are thicker than the others. The ones that are thicker, obviously you would use a thicker piece of hair. The ones that are thinner, you would use a smaller piece of hair. So I'm going to focus on this braid here. Oh, so I put it underneath. And then I hook it. Pull through. Open up the loop. And this gives you an opportunity to like smooth it out, smooth the hair out. I'm going to put the hair in the circle, the loop, pull through, do the same thing, opposite direction, pull through, and then I'm just going to, notice I'm putting my hair on the side I want it to fall on. So then I'll put one more here. And at this point, once I do that, I'll be happy. Like I feel like my hair is full enough for me to go ahead and start shaping it. So going to the very edge of it, underneath, hook it, pull through, this way, and lock it up. Alright, so now that's done. So if I wanted to wear in the middle part, I would shape it where it's sat in the, like once it's in a middle area. But I don't want to wear it in the middle part, so like I'm not going to shape it that way. But if you notice, if I was going to do a middle part, I would need to, in my personal opinion, add some more hair on top. But I'm not wearing it in the middle part. So what I'm going to do is find my part. And I'm going to probably have to do this part in my mirror. Find my part. And if you notice, so, okay. If you, these two did not connect, so you notice this gap. This is the gap I'm talking about running back. That's what you don't want. That's what's going to happen if you have, what I'm looking for. If you have like just straight cornrows back, you're going to have that gap. Something you can do is to crochet it together, but that's a little more difficult. So the way I had it is that I got my mom to braid the two that I want for my part, which is going to be right here. And I mean, you can always readjust your part as you choose, but my part is between these two. If you, there's no gap if you notice that. So it's going to be between these two. So then I just put my hair how I want it to fall. Because you want it to, you want to shape it in the way that you normally are going to wear it. And I think I have another area for a part now I think about it. I think I'm going one, yeah, right here, actually. There we go. All right, so when I cut it, I'm going to cut it, or shape it, should I say. I'm gonna shape it along my face in this area. I usually start off going down from the back side, and then I work my way on this side. So, but I wanna make sure that the curls are pulled out, and I wanna make sure that it's full enough. But if you notice, this doesn't look good, and it's in my face. So now that I have it set to how I want it to be, for the most part. And you can also do this to tighten the knots, because what's going to happen is the knots are going to get loosened over time, which is fine, because I feel like it's good for it to happen, because then these knots here, they start hiding. Like, you won't be able to see it over time. They don't bother me either way, though. If somebody's in your head like, oh girl, let me see your knots, that's a problem anyways. Okay, so I'll be back to do that part.